I was going to do a video about Lindsey Williams' little update here that he did in the last couple of days. I noticed there was a new DVD coming out because I got an email from Prophecy Club or whatever it is .com that he usually goes through to do the DVDs. Some new DVDs coming out, so I knew naturally Lindsey Williams was going to be out on the scene here. So video someone posted on my website, so I went and listened to it. It's not, it's a video, but it's audio, and he's talking for about an hour about, you know, the same old stuff, but he now has a new friend he met. I think the guy's name was Tom Syle or something. Let me just double check that. Tom Syle. No, can't remember it. I didn't write the name down because it really wasn't worth, I guess, mentioning. I guess. Anyways, this guy's a Wall Street insider or whatever. This guy was on Wall Street for a long time, and basically he met him and recently, and they talked, and I guess basically it's simple as this. I'm going to see if I can say basically one more time. Basically, his timeline or agenda that Lindsey Williams has come to know ever since working on the transatlantic or whatever it was called oil pipeline out of, or trans-Alaskan pipeline, Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. You know his whole story. This guy on the Wall Street side of things has a similar story that jives with Lindsey Williams' story, and they kind of talked about it back and forth. And I mean, that's it really. This guy is going to be on his new DVD set, and he's going to talk a lot about Wall Street and the crash and all that stuff. Now, if you are patient and wait, someone is going to get that DVD set, and they will upload it to YouTube or somewhere, and it will be able to be had for free, or at least for you to watch for free. I, out of respect for Lindsey Williams, have bought 2 of the different DVD sets over the last several years, and I just don't feel like I need to buy any more at this point. But I took some little notes down as I watched this hour-long video, and you know how Lindsey Williams is, how he can just stretch on forever and release like 5 different, small things that he could have said in like 5 minutes. So let me just read this. The Liberty oil rig is currently drilling the massive pool of oil as we speak off of Gull Island, Alaska, which is Prudhoe Bay area, I guess. This is that pool of oil that we discovered in the 1970s, according to Lindsey Williams. Hundreds of years of oil supply. We hushed it up, and we're now tapping it, getting ready to supply it. However, Obama wouldn't allow the Keystone Pipeline to be built and vetoed that thing when it came to him and said, no, I'm not going to do it. And as I mentioned recently, because Lindsey Williams said so too, the elite are pissed off at him, Obama. And he said, I got my notes here, Obama may not be reelected because the elite are not happy with him. The Keystone Pipeline was denied by Obama, and that's why they are pissed off at him. Obama basically, in their eyes, the elite's eyes, they double-crossed the elite because he is a Muslim. That's the words that this guy used to Lindsey Williams. He is a Muslim and went to help his Muslim friends, a.k.a. Saudi Arabia and whatnot, by not producing our own oil and shipping it, etc., through this pipeline. The Saudis have given Obama, by the way, millions of dollars for his, I don't know if it was his original election or his re-election. He didn't say. But they've given him millions of dollars. If you start, another thing, if you start hearing bad news about Obama, even on the liberal media channels, it's because the elite do not want him reelected because they're pissed off about the pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline not being going forward, and are now will do a campaign against him so that he is not reelected. And he says, you'll notice they had this bill put in recently to potentially impeach Obama. It didn't go anywhere. But he said, just keep an eye on that kind of stuff, because if it goes forward and you start hearing more stuff about this, that means they're after him. And they don't want him to get reelected because they need a new guy in there to get the job done. Basically is what he said. So in the next several weeks, we're going to know one way or the other. Yes, they want him out, or no, they don't. Nope. Go. No, I'll be in there in a minute, okay? And I'll put another one on. So, we'll know one way or the other in the next few weeks is what he said. Either they're going to go after him in a way that is you're not going to want to reelect him, or they're not. And they're going to completely allow him to hopefully get reelected again, which would mean the Keystone Pipeline has to go forward. But right now, it's been vetoed by him. It's not going anywhere. And I'm going to get back to that in a second. The economic collapse will not happen for the next few months. Don't pay any attention to the stock market ever, because it is completely controlled, and you will not know when the big crash is coming by simply watching the stock market. It's rigged. It's not going to do anything. You will know when the collapse is going to take place by watching for the word derivatives in the news and financial world. When the derivatives market starts showing signs of cracking, so to speak, that will be the telltale sign, according to this guy that talked to Lindsey Williams, his elitist friend, whatever. And it will take place shortly thereafter. Don't know how long, but sometime soon after that. Saudi Arabia recently, he says, made an agreement with China to build a massive oil refinery for China and will not be using U.S. dollars as a medium of exchange. The currency of the elite, he spoke of this many times, is gold and silver. You must buy gold or silver, but not just gold or silver, but it must be created, as he says, by the U.S. Mint, such as silver eagles or gold eagles. And there's some few other coins. I always tell you to get the silver eagles. It's made by the mint. It is technically currency, even though it has like a dollar face value. If they're going to confiscate stuff, they're not going to confiscate that. I don't think there's going to be a confiscation either way, because we haven't used gold and silver as money in almost 100 years now, 80 years or so. So, technically. So, having said that, I watched this earlier, listened to it, and said, I think I ought to do a little video on that. But before I could do the video, I got some other news. There is some more news. And the more news is this. Top news, Reuters. Update to Obama, Wednesday, March 21, 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Reuters. Update number 2. Obama. Obama to push U.S. agencies on South Keystone Pipeline. Yellow. Yeah, listen, is Lindsey Williams there? Yeah, listen, Lindsey. I know you just got this information from your elitist friend that they're pissed off at Obama. But as of, an hour ago, my time, in 15 minutes, Obama changed his mind. And they're going to speak about it on Thursday. On the pipeline. Really? Yeah. You may want to retract your DVD and redo it, because things just changed for the elite in their favor. Having said that, remember what I was saying a few days ago. I said, imagine if this is that time the elite don't get their way. They can't get the pipeline built, therefore we can't do the whole devaluation properly of our dollar to crap on the Middle East and everyone else holding our bonds, because we're going to devalue them. They're going to stop selling us oil. We're going to say that's okay because we just found a massive pool of oil, but it has to run through the pipeline. So I said, what if it can't run through the pipeline because the pipeline's not allowed to be built? Where does this put the agenda? Right? Remember that? I was talking about this. Well, darn. Looks like the elite are right back on track. They're a little bit behind, but they're right back on track now. Headline news. Update 2. Obama to push U.S. agencies on South Keystone Pipeline. President Barack Obama will send a memo to federal agencies on Thursday, that's tomorrow, directing them to prioritize permitting on TransCanada's southern leg of the Keystone Oil Pipeline. A senior White House official said on Wednesday. Facing a barrage of Republican criticism over high gas prices, Obama will visit Cushing, Oklahoma on Thursday to promote his energy policies, which include support for the southern leg of the pipeline. Hey! Now, if you were just some stupid, uneducated, uninformed, average U.S. citizen right now who doesn't know jack crap about what the hell I've been talking about, especially a lot of things I talk about in my videos, but more importantly, what Lindsey Williams' agenda timeline has been talking about, you would read this and be like, oh, cool, we're going to have jobs now again. 20, 30,000 people are going to get a job work on the pipeline. All right. Good move, Obama. I'm glad he changed his mind. Not having one freaking idea, even a thought, that this whole thing was planned by the elite. Obama didn't do what they said at first, as of back in January, which was 2 months ago, or technically almost 3, whatever. And just a little, whatever they did, they must have did something. Again, these guys run the show. It's not the president doesn't run the show. The Congress doesn't run the show. The club runs the show. The banker oil elite club runs the show. Obama, that's what it should say. Obama changed his mind after the club spokesperson spoke to him. That's what it should say. Average person's just going to read this, the Keystone Pipeline. Hey, it gets us back on, what about all the environmentalists? What about them? It doesn't matter. They can hoot and holler all they want. The club wants the pipeline. Obama said no. The club had a talking to Obama. And now the pipeline's back on the table. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Because Lindsey Williams said they are pissed off. They are furious. He said, I'm not going to use the words that they used when I spoke to that elitist friend of mine in regards to Mr. Obama and how pissed off they are because of he not going forward with the pipeline. And people would message me on YouTube, Joe, I looked at the pipeline. It doesn't even run up to Alaska. It doesn't have anything to do with that. And my response was, well, it may not as far as they're telling us, but when all this goes down, it's going to be tapped into Prudhoe Bay or wherever the hell this oil is. That's ours, and it will be tapped into that pipeline. Trust me. And everyone's like, yeah, but I can't find anything on that. It doesn't say anything about going to Alaska. It's only from Canada to, certain parts of the U.S. So, having said that, bringing that up right now, here's why I'm bringing that up. Because if that pipeline had nothing to do with it, and these elitists really weren't mad because they're fake and they don't exist, and Lindsey Williams is a liar, let's say, you would not have had Obama renege on his deal that he put in the stone back in January. We're not going anywhere with that pipeline. Actually, March 21st, yeah, bring up that pipeline again. Listen, Thursday, guys, I got some good news for you. We're going to go ahead and run that pipeline. He would not have changed his mind that quick on this issue for just out of the blue, which gives major credence, major props to Lindsey Williams. He specified the Keystone Pipeline. He used that word. Not just some pipeline. The Keystone Pipeline. They were pissed off because they couldn't run it. Now they're going to be happy as of 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here I am an hour later, a little over an hour later, doing this video. And what do I read here? They're going to go ahead and go with the Keystone Pipeline. Can you imagine that? Can you freaking imagine that? I didn't even have time to do the video yet, just to give you this little 5 thing of clip, of Lindsey Williams update. And it's a good thing I didn't, because I just got a new update, which is what I just read you from Reuters. Mainstream media. Yeah. The agenda will go on. These elitists will have their way. Everybody's bought and paid for, which is why I said they've done it this whole time. Why would right now be the one time they don't get it their way? But having said that, I just told you guys, hey, could you imagine if they didn't get their way this one time? And I tried to even think of what parts would fall apart and how would that affect the rest. And I told you I couldn't even come up with my own fake scenario. Who knows how it would go down? But I said to myself, and I did in the video, imagine if this pipeline throws the big monkey wrench. Ooh. Might as well go erase that video, huh? Because the elite just showed us all we still have control, son. Listen, little J Snip 4, peasant, yeah, we still run the show. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I was just kidding. Hang up. So I wanted to bring you up to date with that. And, man, it's interesting as hell to see this happen like that. Wow. Let you know who's running the show, doesn't it? And it ain't Obama, and it's not the Congress. Pretty scary thought. Anyways, Take care.